Have you ever experienced a huge miscommunication with a coworker, someone who's actually a work buddy, and after work you're friends too, someone you've known for a long time? I recently had a disturbing misunderstanding, miscommunication with a longtime friend who's a work associate and a colleague, former colleague in the wine industry. I reached out to this particular person to become an advertiser on my podcast. This is a unique opportunity because it's extremely limited and you have to meet certain criteria. The number one criteria is that person or company has to be doing some good in the world, whether it's in their community, in their neighborhood, in their state, in the world. I reached out to Steve, like I do with everybody else, with an introduction card. It explains what I'm doing now as a podcaster, because some people don't know that I'm doing this instead of wine sales because of the pandemic. Talks about what I will do, PR, branding, and marketing, the duration, and a couple of tiers, cost tiers. Send this off to him. Didn't hear a response, but that's typical. I made a few phone calls, I sent a few emails. About 3 weeks later, I was literally picking up my cell phone to call him, and he calls me. Now I thought, isn't this fantastic? He's read the information. He wants to have a conversation, a discovery conversation. Well, what really happened was his mom had died. He has been away this entire time. He never saw my introduction to advertising on the podcast. I did not know that. I am thinking because he called me, he's interested in doing business or discovering if it made sense. We're having this great conversation about me helping him. I'm feeling really good about our conversation and moving forward in the business opportunity. And I'm actually saying to him, is this something you would like to do? And he says, yes. And I said, so, let me clarify. Anyway, it comes to pass, I'm going to do a little more work for him so he understands the podcast aspect, what I do with Instagram and my other social media, and he's all good with this. So I do about 2 or 3 weeks of work, and I report back to him every week and show him how things are progressing. And then I text him. We had some phone conversations because I like to do research that way, make sure I'm clear on everything. And I text him that I'm going to send him the final proposal with a 3-tiered cost proposal. And he sends me back a smiling emoji. I send this to him, and he has a huge meltdown. He called me every name under the sun in texting. Well, I was shocked because I didn't expect this kind of communication from a spiritual person. I didn't read all the texts because they were really vituperative. But remember, his mother just died. He was grieving. Therefore, I just removed myself and my emotions, put myself in Steve's shoes because I have been there when my mother died many, many years ago. I was a Texas tornado. I destroyed everything in my path. And that's the point. When there's a huge miscommunication, especially with a coworker, a longtime friend, not a relationship, but a coworker type of buddy where business is involved, your emotions really have to absolutely just not even be anywhere near your thinking process. And here's how I did it. I meditated. I realize that's woo-woo, but this is one way to calm your inner thoughts and to remove yourself in a very healthy way from someone who does not know how to control their emotions because they are under duress. They're grieving. Steve obviously did not know how to grieve, or he was uncomfortable with it. It had just happened. My heart went out to him. My last text to him was, let's talk in a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, maybe next year. But right now, you need to take care of Steve, and I'm going to move on. In his last text to me, because I stopped reading his crazy text. The last one was said, I need to pay attention to my family or pay attention to my grieving, and once I get past that, then we'll talk. So I at least feel, I won't reread any of his text messages. I read that last one, and I feel pretty good because the door is not closed. But really, meditating protects you from adversity. Kundalini yoga is very, very big into meditation. The chanting produces a meditative state. But what I have found also, most people have misconception about meditating. Carrie Kopesek has created Carrie has created a beautiful meditation practice that involves combining art, creating art with a meditative practice. If you think about this, now I'm not an artist, but you do go into a meditative state when you are creating something. On her website, which is in my podcast details, the name of her practice is Made in Meditation. On her website, you will see there's different blocks where she's explaining to you the flow of art into the meditative state. She has free classes. She has fee-based classes. My favorite part, which I really appreciate from her, is she has classes for children. It is so vital that we train our children at a very young age how to practice that meditative state. Adversity is part of life. It's the yin and the yang. You can't have success without adversity, folks. And teaching children at a young age how to meditate, but even us adults, as we age, it's important to have that meditative state that we can rely upon when adversity comes into our lives. The whole concept that she used her years of design in the architectural field to create this healing art business is so refreshing that I really want my listeners to go to her website, take some free classes, explore it. By the way, this website is so beautiful, you want to look at it on a laptop or a PC. I use my laptop, but I was also looking at it to do research from my iPad, and it's so beautiful. It's a work of art, quite honestly, that you want to research it on a larger screen. Carrie is responsible for the Wellness Wednesdays, which we do for Soothe Our Souls as a fundraiser every fourth Wednesday. And her classes are, again, really, they're unusual because I love the fact that it's 3 parts. We do a meditative practice at the beginning. We do a walk on the beach, which is my favorite. It's only in the beach, 3 minutes away. Then it's concluded with some kind of artistic creation. It's a wonderful class to take if you are anywhere near St. Pete Beach in lovely Florida. So check out her website. Lastly, with wine, I'm thrilled that my top 3 wine stores, one of them is West Palm Wines in Ybor City, outside of Tampa. They have started this really cool wine club program called Wines of the World. Wow. All that information is on the podcast details. Send Kate an email that you want to sign up. There's 3 tiers, Princess, Queen, and there's a VIP. The VIP is very, very limited from September to December. I believe they're offering it. They ship within Florida. If you don't live within Florida, make friends. Their wines are very, very unique. Mark Lasky, who I've known for 20 some odd years, is the Italian wine guru. Kate loves it all, but she is a Francophile. She's a bubblehead like me. She loves champagne. Jim Cerna, who has left us untimely, is a huge Francophile too. When you visit their store, West Palm Wines, you will believe you have gone to a wine cellar in France. Really beautiful store. To wrap this up, if you've had a huge miscommunication, give it time. We don't need to resolve everything immediately that happens in our life. It's very important to meditate when something like this happens. meaning simply take yourself away from the situation. Let the energy flow out. I know this is woo-woo, but let it get ice cold, not just simmer, but walk away from the emotions. And then you can resolve it. Meditation is something that we all need in our lives. It's misunderstood. People think you need to lay down, you got to play this music, you got to do that for an hour. You can do 3 minutes of meditation, do it first thing in the morning, or do it before you go to bed. Visit Carrie's website. It's beautiful. Virtual classes. Sign up for Wines of the World. Wow. Tell them in the email that you heard all about them from Valerie's podcast. To say goodbye, I guide people to create a blueprint in order to have the life they deserve. And that's why I create this podcast every week. Merci, au revoir. Valerie Hale, Wealth Yoga Wine.